Guys, we're back to Matt Chat Podcast with myself, yours truly, Big Sexy, Paul Ciotto, cousin Frank Ciotto,
Fat Sexy,
and Christopher, the Red Man Shea.
Zipper Sexy.
Awesome. Guys, great topic today. Can't wait to jump into it. Dr. Shea,
take it away.
I guess I can start it off.
Begin.
As we know in nature,
Correct. I like nature.
all animals communicate.
Right.
Bees buzz, dogs bark, and wolves howl. Ow.
I've already had this birds and bees
But here's the thing.
speech.
What do humans do? And this is going to be my topic. We shit talk. That's my topic, baby. We're going to talk about shit talking today. I knew you'd like it. And think about it. It is completely apropos, and I'll explain to you why. What's been going on? Well, actually, let's start off this. This is my March Madness right now. There's no question. This week is my last week was my March Madness, or 2 weeks ago, I should say. This week is my March Madness. We have the only NCAA tournament that really means anything, and that is wrestling. And if you've noticed recently in wrestling, there's a lot of stuff going on with shit talking. There's a lot of stuff going on with the celebration, and I figure that's what I want to talk about today. And this is my feeling. Does shit talking, is it a detriment to the sport, or is it something that the sport needs to embrace?
Are you talking all sports or just?
Of course, all sports. Yeah.
Okay.
We always talk all sports.
I think it depends on the level.
I don't think it depends on the level at all.
But go ahead.
Well, I not only do I have a black belt in jiu-jitsu, I have a black belt in shit
That's why I'm saying,
So,
and not only
yeah,
that, dude,
so-
think about it. We do this every single
day.
morning. Yeah, it starts off in the morning.
And there's no time limit. There's no. It could be the holiest of holy days. There's
Absolutely.
shit talk going on.
It goes on.
And
it makes life more fun, let's be honest.
But at the same time, you've also got to understand who you shit talk to.
Exactly.
Because
your audience is important.
Yeah, and listen, there's a couple different schools of thought. Now, when you're in your crew or your group, whatever you want to label it as, and shit talk is part of the norm, that's great. Yeah. It's part of your everyday. Okay? Then there's the shit talk where you want to take your dick out to intimidate somebody or let them know that you're onto them or whatever the case may be. And then there's the other groups that start coming around and you like lightly ingratiate them with the shit talk.
And that happened last night. That's what made me think about this.
And they're not really comfortable with it. You mean like?
Well,
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like because the one you're talking about, those are kind of like when you go at those guys, you know they're gonna get involved.
In fact, it was funny.
One guy was like, he gave us his phone number. He's like, "Don't leave me out."
He goes. Not only do I want you to have my phone number, please tell me yours so I can attack you right back, and I know who I'm attacking. And I went, oh, this guy's gonna fit in perfectly.
Exactly.
I'm actually glad he just joined our little group.
Exactly. And I actually sent the phone number to him last night.
Yeah,
because I'm like, make sure he's in now.
So now he's getting attacked.
When the attacks come. So
Did you meet this guy?
At wrestling,
so,
it was his kid. Paul set up an awesome program for strength and conditioning, and now the season's over, we can really hit it hard. And this guy, I guess, whatever you said, it struck a chord with him. His kid's small; he wants them to get bigger and stronger, faster. So he's there. And I have to be honest. While the whole class was going on, me and a couple other guys were shit talking, and he's like, "Dude, this sounds fun." Yeah. And then next thing you know, Paul got involved, and now he's into it, and we're having a good time with it.
Yeah. So again, it's great when you can pick, or people naturally gravitate to that type of banter. But then there's others that just they get offended, or like they don't want to be involved, or I think the greatest example is. Oh, I'm like you, I'm like you, I'm like you, I'm like you, I'm like you. And then you realize you're not
like me.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're not, because this never shuts off. Okay? You could be in one of the gravest moments of your life where like actual normal praise should happen and you get attacked.
And you're still getting attacked.
Okay,
exactly.
so and that's just part of the whole qualm. But as far as sports are concerned, I think that I'm not against shit talking. But I think it's also a matter of when to do it and when not to do it. You know what I mean? It's like I was watching a thing actually the other day on YouTube about Larry Bird.
Hell, dude, he's a king of it, yeah.
The king of shit talk.
And back in that generation, that's all they did.
Right.
That's all the kids nowadays wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah, but that's what they did back then because that's what they did to push each other. I mean, like even when Jordan started that team, he was he was on everybody's ass at practice saying, I'm going to push you because if I'm pushing you and he's pushing Charles Barkley and he's pushing back, we're only going to get better. So it's like a
Yeah, but I'm talking about in a competitive environment where I'm like, if you're a defensive lineman and you're an offensive lineman and you're talking some good shit.
Sure.
I think it's an issue of taking them out of their game and getting them into their heads. So now,
Muhammad Ali did that his
once
whole career.
emotion's involved,
Yeah.
you're not thinking about your best game. You're thinking in your head, and now I think you have a competitive edge. So I think it's super important.
Larry Bird would tell you that where he's going to shoot. Why are you here? It's okay. Like, he'd crap on your ability and do it. There was a 3-point contest. I forgot what year it was. He walks into the locker room and goes, okay, which one of you is taking second? But he knew it. I'm like, he literally, but anyone, and they interviewed a bunch of guys from that era that he played with or against, and like, man, this was Larry Bird. Greatest, he would shit talk, he would fight, huge competitor, but they all loved and respected him because of what he did for the game. You know what I mean? And what he was for the game. And is for the game. But that is probably one of the most prime examples of shit talk that I can think of.
Now, here's a question. Do you think there's a component of that not only attacks your opponent, but also elevates your own game, maybe gives you a little bit more confidence? Because when you walk in saying, I'm the biggest, baddest, strongest, and who's taking second,
Yeah.
I think in your own mind, you're hyping yourself up for success.
I think it's different for everybody, but I think people like a Jordan or those high-level athletes, they work better with that stress on top of them. So they manufacture
They
their own
flourish.
stress.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
he's going, I'm not fucking good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And then they check that. Then he goes, yeah, I'm good enough for that guy. And then they go to the next level. And it's constantly, how can I push that barrier, push that barrier? It's a motivator factor. I do it not to break him. Some people talk shit to like, fuck with his game and his head. I do it for my own head because I'm psycho. And it just pushes me to another level.
Well, Mike Tyson, the greatest intimidator of all time, said that he did all these things because of his fear of losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
He did not want to lose. So everything that went into his intimidation and his form of shit talk was intimidating the fuck out of you.
Hell yeah.
And for obvious reasons. But in his biggest issue, or his biggest thing was he didn't want to lose. So, that elevated himself and his intimidation game, which is a form of shit talk.
Which depressed their game too.
Got in their
Think
heads.
about this
He
guy.
beat him before he got to the ring.
Absolutely. And I also think there's verbal and nonverbal shit talking.
Of course.
The stare downs, the pacing back
Mike
and
Tyson.
forth.
Mike Tyson would look at you in the ring,
He would
and
know.
if you moved, he never moved, but his eyes followed you back and forth.
Yep.
It's like he would just sit there and look at you, watch him, go on and look at videos of him. He never ever moves. His eyes only move. He never takes his eyes off you, and he talks about that was part of his game.
Yeah.
It was exactly
Even like if you're fighting or wrestling and you're getting close to out of bounds and you just push that little push, that little intimidation factor. That to me, that little push is a shit talk also, saying, yeah, man, I got you.
Well, it's all, whether it's posturing or
Like a cat. The posturing,
yeah,
exactly.
posturing is part of it for sure.
Totally.
What about Arnold? Didn't he shit talk?
Oh, absolutely. Arnold talks shit all the time. Arnold one
Dude,
time.
one of the best golfers ever, Arnold Palmer, man. He'd be like, watch me hit this ball so freak. Wait, which ones are you guys talking about now? Which Arnold?
That was horrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
But Schwarzenegger did it too. Same thing. Like, he did it with Lou Ferrigno in the last, when he competed for the Olympia that time. He totally destroyed him mentally. With, it's okay, Louie, your arms aren't big enough. He did all these things, and they talked about it. And there was another story too where a guy came to Arnold about posing. And he was like, how do I pose great? And he was like a real jackass. And I remember watching an interview and he's like, told the guy, every time you go out on stage and pose, you got to scream as loud as you can. Like you hit a double bicep, rah! You hit a crab, rah! You got to scream as loud as you can. He's like, and this fool went out there and did it.
Oh, God.
And just the whole, the judges were like, what the heck's wrong with this guy? But so at the same time, he manipulated with that and shit talk and getting in guys' heads and having a good time at it as well. It's completely that. But the art of shit talk has definitely been dampened.
Yes, it has.
Because of today's climate. Who gets offended? Who don't do this, don't do that. I mean, there's a place for it. So
There's definitely a place for it.
Whatever, like again, it's just an opinion.
Yeah.
But I feel there is a place for it.
See, I think the issue with it today is, sure, there's some people who are sensitive, but there's more people who aren't good, or shit talking doesn't come naturally to them.
Correct.
And my mom used to say that, she's like, you would do something, and I want to be mad at you, but you would do it in a way that would make me laugh, so I wouldn't be as mad at you. Where somebody could do the same thing and it would piss me off to the nines. There's some people who can, say something slick or fuck with you, and you just kind of be like,
Damn, that was good.
yeah, like, and then there's some people who'll say it and you'll be like, you'll snap.
Right.
So it definitely depends. The delivery, it's all.
And there's also certain topics that are off limits in shit talking
course,
too.
yeah.
I mean, dude, I feel like it should just be attack against the other person, not an attack against their families or
Right. Listen,
other stuff that they got going on.
There's an art form to it.
Yeah,
Just like
100%.
anything else, there's an art form to shit talk. I mean, it may sound silly to everyone out there, but there really is. I mean, listen.
Dude,
like-
certain people have black belts and shit talking, other people have white belts and
Yeah,
shit talking.
exactly. So for me, like to Chris's point, I couldn't agree more. So if I choose Chris to be my point of attack,
Which has almost never happened, but if on the off chance it
does
does.
happen. It doesn't happen too often. But just to be specific to the show today, I'm attacking his pinky. His pinky can have a smudge on it, and I'll have the whole team saying his pinky is this, that, and the other thing. And before you know it, I've got at least 10 to 15 text messages sent out to everybody to individually attack his pinky, or there's a group text.
There's absolutely
that
a group
goes after.
text.
I said, and then
Or I'll walk in the gym and 4 people will come up to me and say, yo, what's up with your pinky? And I'm like,
What is up with your pinkies?
nothing at all.
this one's been broken like 5 times. But I blame that on the gentle art.
But the point being is that's what it comes down to. So and it's an art form.
So
I mean,
under sort of that inference, is it better to hone your skills at the actual art, like learn how to do a technique better,
Right.
or is it better to kind of get a little bit of practice with the shit talking?
well, I think that
I mean, because the best way to shut down a shit talker is to just beat him, right?
right.
Yeah.
Well, if you're in the context of the actual sporting event or contest, let's just call it a contest. Okay, obviously you're utilizing that. But what I found with the shit talking is that people that you never expect to get involved do. I have legitimately turned guys against him.
Yes, he has.
That you would never ever think.
Yes, he has.
To the point where
Like my own kids.
But we've had guys who you would
They're
never
quiet, they don't get involved.
You don't ever. And by the time, and what I find the most enjoyment out of it is that they attack him without me having to even incite
Instigate it?
Oh no.
Now, I'm not 100% sure about that statement.
Oh, I am telling you, it's 100% sure. And I have said that to him. Like, the best part of this is I
didn't even-
have nothing to do with it. He'll walk into a room and you take Leo for instance.
I got attacked by him today. Oh my God, dude! And this is how it goes down.
Or like me and Nardini at the
I
train.
got here a little bit early because on the days that we do this, my schedule is extremely tight.
it's
So I almost have to get out of my office extra early. And he goes, so I pulled up into the parking lot, but I was on the phone doing something in my house. And he goes, so I walk in there and I say, hey, and I give him a smile and a loving hello, and he's like. And he's I don't think at this point I don't know he's suckering me in, but he's suckering me in. So I think I'm gonna go around there and he's gonna come up and give me a warm embrace or something.
Right.
No, he goes, question for you. I noticed you sitting out in your car so you can get here for the podcast early, but you can't get here for class early. And I was like, well, immediately what do? I go, it's Paul's fault. So I blamed it on you, saying that, hey, listen, on these days, since the schedule is so tight, I actually have to stop patients at a certain time to get here at 12. Otherwise, we'll go over and I'll be late for patients. On jiu-jitsu times, I have patients that come in at 11:30. I don't get out until 11:50, 11:55.
All right, but to get back to the point.
I think that was a pretty important point.
I get it, but no one gives a fuck about your schedule. Okay, we're talking about shit talking here. So my thing is that that's a minor thing that he's done.
Yes.
He's come at you from every angle now. So
but here's the thing, though. Leo's a guy who used to never come at me. That was really the point that I was going with this.
Exactly.
And now it's a daily basis. He attacks me at least once a day now.
Exactly.
I'm
And
like,
that
"Jeez."
goes back to my point of that once when you're around guys every day,
That just-
even if you were never part of that shit talk team, you understand the fun in it, and you understand. Like, listen, I want to be a part of this.
That's the key.
You know, and
there
that's-
is a
and that-
lot of fun.
It's
in
a
it.
lot. Of
If you
fun.
have a thick skin,
Yes.
there's a lot of freaking fun.
So
And these
much
people
fun.
who get so sensitive over it, it's just
So
like, dude,
much fun.
grow
You-
up and stop. You know,
You have no idea the fun that's involved because
it's-
there's no parameters to it. Like
No.
it gets crazy.
It can get crazy.
Between pictures and comments and all
And
sorts-
memes.
and you have
Can you
no
elaborate a little bit
Like-
on these pictures, comments, like?
Well, some of the
look out
pictures
in
are
the
like
alley?
there's some X-rated shit that goes on. I'm gonna leave it at that. So, but the bottom line is, it's funny as hell. But like, you take it like when that type of stuff goes out in the text. Like guys like Philippe Costa, leave.
yes, yeah, oh yeah,
That's
absolutely.
it. I guess I'm done with that. I can't. So, and know what that does? The rest of us are in tears.
We have
Wind
more
up.
fun that way.
We won.
Yeah.
We basically won. We got the reaction.
The
we
response
wanted.
that we wanted to
You know
get.
what I mean? And Leo's famous for that too. He leaves.
Yeah,
You'll
right.
see Leo left the conversation. Philippe left the conversation because that
can't
part of
handle
it,
it.
they can't handle it. So guess what? You beat them in that form of shit talk. So it goes down. It goes back to like you said. You're like, what's the acceptable
What's
form of
deemed
shit
appropriate?
talk?
Yeah.
It really depends on where you're at and who you're with and whatnot.
depends on who you know, who you're with.
Is one born a shit talker, or does one become a shit talker?
Both.
I
both.
think it can be both. I think if you're very witty, yes, you have a
comes
natural
natural.
acclamation to be a shit talker. Yeah.
You say so proud.
But when you're around it, as we described earlier, you get guys who never shit talk a day in their life. They become shit talkers because they're like, man, I'm with these guys every day.
Yeah.
You know what? And then I'm not gonna lie, I have personally created at least 3.
Oh.
Because they see me do it, and then before someone comes or shows up, I'm like,
Let's get
hey,
it.
listen. And they're like, yeah, I want to do it. So then, and they put their own brand on it, which makes it even funnier. Because it's like, it's their form of shit talk, which just is great. And the best is when the group's there,
Oh, it's-
they're even more engaged because they're like, oh,
Because now everybody's going with it.
But
it's like a domino
They
effect.
got their own form of it, and it's like, and that's how much fun it is.
You know, I often wondered why I have strong feelings of annoyance towards Shay. I couldn't explain. I noticed that other team members.
That's just his face.
I do that too, but I think the well has been poisoned a little bit by someone.
I feel like the well has been poisoned myself.
You say that to the camera?
I feel like the well has been poisoned myself.
You know, it's just, and then listen. Then you have other forms like team captain Murph Whalen. Okay,
Oh, yeah, let's hear about
very
him.
wealthy. Excuse me, he's wealthy.
Wealthy?
He's very wealthy. He's very witty. He's got a great.
He's got a great tongue. He's excellent at giving. Like if
Quick.
you need somebody to give like I was going to say like a best man speech at say a wedding. He's out for hire. I saw a website with him on there that he gives certain talks for
Right.
best man speeches. He'll do like a convocation at like a dining event. He does all those types of things.
I don't know if you remember the last meme that I created. Where
Of course
had
I do.
Murph Whalen, team captain, the Irish Wolverine, can't stop, won't stop.
Yep.
And myself and Pete Torchiano created that.
Ah.
Our own thought processes. So what did I do? I held it for a couple days.
I held
Right?
it.
What did I not? I held it for a couple days.
He kept it
I
for
held
a good
I
release date.
I had it for a good. And what did I do? Next thing you know, I put it on my page on Facebook and I tag everybody in it, and it got a couple hundred likes.
Oh, easily.
And it just the thread kept growing. And afterwards, and then I get the message from Murph. Really?
And that's a private message,
that's right.
which makes it even better.
It's like, really? And I'm like, yes. And I go, do you not see the love and the and there was a lot of love and admiration, and it just kept going and going and going. And that again, it's a perfect example of shit talk, of tomfoolery, of
And-
this game that we play.
And that could take a humdrum day and
And
turn
just-
it into
it
something
just-
completely fun and exciting too.
Exactly.
And how did he become team captain? Because he's not a high belt.
Oh no, he is the first. And again, I don't want to go into depth because we're going to be doing a like a 30-30 with the team captain, where he's going to be sitting down
30-30.
like like ESPN does. We're going to be doing a 30-30 with Murph Whalen, team captain, Soul Fighters Brewster. It's just his presence, his attitude.
Well, he's also the
His
sergeant
reverence.
of arms.
Well, sergeant of arms part of it, but his reverence that he is the first man in the history of jiu-jitsu to be named the team captain at white belt.
That's true. He was.
Period. And we'll get into that in a later episode. That I can tell you.
And it's well deserved, I might add.
More than well deserved.
It's well deserved. He is one of those guys that you look up to as a white belt, doesn't matter what it is. His knowledge, his wisdom, it's profound.
The Irish Wolverine.
The Irish Wolverine.
The Caramel X-Man.
X-Men.
The Caramel. They have the X-Men. He's the Caramel X-Man.
Yes,
Murph
he is.
Whalen, team captain, Irish Wolverine.
Caramel X-Man.
AKA Cappy.
Yes.
I'm in the mood for caramel.
Back to shit talking. One time before I competed, I didn't do any shit talking, but Paul was there. And the guy I was competing against said, you train with him? I said, yeah, because he looks crazy. He goes, he is. I said, he's a real psycho. And he goes, yeah, and he goes, he looks really strong. I said, oh, he fucking is. I train with him every day. The guy's like, you kidding me? I'm like, nah, he's a maniac. And the guy like just lost the fight right there.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
done.
That's it.
He was done.
So
He was
you
done.
did some indirect
He
shit
did.
talking. That was indirect shit talking.
He used me as his tool
Yes.
of his weapon.
It's not necessarily I'm crazy, but he's fucking
The guy
crazy.
And I train with him.
So it's got to make me
Every
a
day.
little crazy.
So it's, again, and I'm glad we're bringing up all these little examples because this is what it really is. You know, the other part of it is, listen, when you're shit talking in the form of shit talking in the form of a contest, there are things you don't do. You don't attack a person's family. You don't attack their sexuality. You don't attack their religious beliefs. You don't, that stuff you don't do. You mean?
The sexual orientation,
Yeah,
any of that stuff,
that
yeah.
stuff. You don't do any of that, But guess what? I'm gonna
Everything else is on limits.
Everything else is off limit. Is on limits.
On limits,
So
absolutely.
I'm going to, like you said, I'm going to attack it. Okay, you're Irish, you're getting attacked.
Yeah,
See,
but-
I feel
but-
different.
You're Italian, you're getting attacked. Okay,
I'm an
You-
open door kind of guy. Comedy's fucking comedy, and if you're part of it, you're part of it, and you get it. If you're not, you're not. But the door is open. I don't care on what it is. And if you're that sensitive about it, you're not one of the guys to hang out with.
But
Exactly.
there's we have to define. There's shit talking like amongst your friends, like you're saying, a group, that stuff like that. But if you're competing against someone, we talked about celebrities who have done that. But if we're
Right.
competing in martial arts, you guys personally, I mean, are you shit talking on the side or?
Are you shit talking during the match? I spoke to my son Taylor during one of his matches at the
Yeah, we'll talk about
NCAA's.
you.
Oh, me?
Your journey. You're shit talking.
Dude, I don't shit.
You on the
Dude,
match.
I don't shit talk. I show these babies, and that's all I got to do. And that's all I got to do.
Okay, so you're saying it doesn't have to come from your mouth.
No, dude, absolutely
Well,
not.
shake hands,
There's
shit-
non-verbal shit talk.
She can't shit talk
There's a
before
stare.
the match because he's usually 15 minutes late. So we'll talk to you during the match.
Listen,
I'm usually running there trying to get there. Okay, I'm ready.
I know what Peter's saying.
Yeah.
And I'll use, and you've both been there. I don't know if Frank's been there for these examples. Like, I've been doing this since I started training. Like, I'll wait to the point where I'll wait for the professor to stop teaching a lesson, and I'll raise my hand,
Say that shit
and
don't-
they'll pick me, and I'll go, that was great, but that shit don't work on me. Teach me something teach me to kill moves, because that shit ain't working.
The kill moves.
Yeah. Teach me to kill moves.
This is classic.
Because that shit's not working on me. I don't know what you're even showing that for. And guess what? Every instructor I've had in my life loves it. They start cracking up, and then the whole class. And you guys, I know Peter, and I know you have seen me do it.
Oh, I've seen you do it
a gazillion
numerous
Have
times.
you seen me do it?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. I-
Promote this business. You promoted Murphy's team captain. Speeches.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He could go along on seminars.
Another
with
episode of how this shit doesn't work on me. I've never fucking seen that before.
There was I had T-shirts made. Remember, this
That's
shit
true,
don't
yeah.
work on me. But like and anyone knows me, I've been saying that forever. No matter where I am, I'm like, great, yeah, that's nice. That shit ain't working on me. I can tell you right now, it's not working on me ever. And that's like one of my
That's
claim
your
to fame.
catchphrase.
That's a catchphrase.
100%.
That shit is not working on me, son. I mean, that's basically.
No,
what it
I'm
is.
different. I'll talk to. See, he's gonna shit talk you like that. I'm gonna try and ask you some questions about your weekend. What do you got going on? Just to kind of slow some things down a little bit.
Yeah.
That's my shit talk. Hey, your hair came out really good today. Kind of products, and then I set my move up.
I'm definitely like teeth sinking into the neck kind of shit talker.
It's
I go right for it.
And he doesn't
for it.
fucking stop.
Competitions?
Oh, he doesn't stop.
He don't
This
stop.
one is the fucking worst. He was he was a purple
You
belt.
better win.
He was a purple belt at,
Yeah, right.
at the New York Open a couple years ago. And it's two fucking fat man gorillas fucking killing each other. All right? To the takedown. He takes the guy down, fucking mauls him, Kimura lock. He jumps up, pulls the gi open, and starts pounding his fucking chest like King Kong, screaming. I'm looking at this, I'm like, he's out of
And he's got 2 more matches left. If you see this, you're going to be like, oh, shoot.
So, like, again, everyone has their form of it. You know what I mean? So, for me, I'm okay with it. You have, like, again,
I prefer it. I
completely prefer it because it's the truth, okay? There's some guys who don't.
Well, there's different styles.
Yes,
Some
listen.
things, there are words, and some things go beyond words.
Well, it's just like even
Yeah.
when I played football, like arena football or semi-pro, a lot of the times you know guys from other colleges
Yeah,
or
man.
other sports, and you push each other. Like even when I was in high school, I had a buddy that I trained football with at football camp. We see each other every summer, and then on the mats we would wrestle against each other, and it was all business. Like shook hands, joked around before. When we got on the mat, it looked like we hated each other afterwards. Just like back to shooting the shit. Iron sharpens iron, and you either get the program or you don't. And you're either with it or you're not. For me, when I do that with jiu-jitsu, I spend so much time, just spit everywhere. I spend so much time training and have all this built up, like, I need to get it out. And if I don't get it out.
But you're getting out through shit talking or through
But that's
It's a
part of it.
combination,
I mean,
so it's part of...
it's a sport where you dominate. Like, if I tap you out, you're saying, I bested you. You know, and I want that like a lion. I want that to roar through the arena.
I want that to
Roar through the arena. When you hear the bear across the street, you're like, what the fuck is that? That's the next guy in my bracket? I'm good.
Listen, you're setting the tone. I understand it. It's no different. Like when I'm training, I start laughing at you. You've all seen. You'll hear laughter like the Joker coming out of the corner of the mat. Because you're trying some shit on me, and I'm like,
it's not working.
it's not gonna. What do you? Come on. You know what I mean? So like,
Really?
Yeah, exactly. So the point being is, everyone has their form, and everyone has their.
You're welcome is all I'm going to say.
One time before a competition, and you were there, it was the Boston Open.
Right.
Guy had like all these tattoos and all this shit.
They make you stronger. I
And,
heard.
I was going against him, and I said to him, do me a favor, wake me up when we're ready to compete. I'm going to take a little nap here. And I just laid there, and I looked through my eyes just a little bit. I see him pacing, looking at me, like starting to freak
Like
out.
he can't
starting
believe that
napping.
You're napping, yeah.
Yeah, and he came over.
You shut him down, man. That's the whole point.
Let's go, you know.
You shut them down.
There's
I mean,
different
that's
methods.
Sure.
There's a method.
Dude,
to
when
the
you get
madness.
somebody in their head and out of their game, you have a better chance of
Call
being
that
successful.
being shook.
Yeah.
Shook.
When you
Mob
shook,
deep shook.
yeah, when you
shook ones.
When you shook somebody like that, or they're that shook that you're just chilling, relaxing, and he's got to stare you down to try to get amped up because he's like, why is he taking this so easily? Like I look like this, and he's just like, what? Like you're fucking with his head. He's shook. That guy is shook before you even got him.
Absolutely.
I love that.
I mean, the shit talk game has also, it could be mental, physical, it could be the way you look at a guy, it could be, listen, you could be picking on him with humor.
Well,
Okay?
sure.
And that's how it works.
One time at the New York Pro, I had a fight, 2 divisions younger, and the guy's all jacked. He looked like a white supremacist psycho. And I just looked at him. I said, "Man, you look really tough." And he's looking at me, grimacing. I said, "Are you tough?" And he's just looking at me. And his friends were there from Boston Defense. I said, "Your buddy looks like he's really tough." And they're like looking at me, like, "Is something wrong with you?" I was curious. Is he tough?
Yeah, that's it.
And the guy, and then we went at it, and he just beat me.
But
But afterwards, he was hugging me. He goes, "I love you, man. I love you."
Because you got to listen. He's right.
It's mutual
That was his
respect
whole
too.
game. Is
You're-
I'm tough.
Your piece, like he came at you with his angle. Oh, this is gonna work. I'm tough. I look crazy, whatever. And you're just kind of like, hey,
Well, the tattoos make you
are
stronger.
you tough? But like you're letting them know that it's not affecting you because you're like, are you tough? Can you tell me why you're tough? And that's why everybody looked at you like you're weird because they were like, this has never been the response we get. Usually it's just like
Absolutely.
this response. The fact that they're getting that from you, they're like, what do I do
they
here?
couldn't answer.
Yeah.
He shit talked him with nice talk. That's the best part. He shit talked.
I think it's even worse when you do that.
He shit talk him with a compliment.
And
That's the best
he looked
part.
confused.
Yes, but that's the mind game, man.
I thought I was tough. Like, why are you questioning me?
You're playing the mind game.
Yeah.
Mob deep, shook ones. Peter Ober, shook. But guys, we're gonna wrap it up. We hope you enjoyed this little episode on shit talking 101. And I'm sure we'll revisit again.
You too can have your shit black. Shit talking black belt.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. It was
Oh boy!
Sign up for our course.
Guys, we'll see you next time. Paul Seattle, Frank Seattle, Christopher Shea, Peter Ober. We're out.
bow and arrow.
I'm still
Again,
bowing out.
he likes it.